Welcome to Let's Go Racing. I'm Dani Gibson here with Dick Jerardi, and it is Breeders' Cup Day. World Championships are on the line. Plus, come join us today for a special live racing day here at Parx. And plenty to discuss on the show this week. It was Del Val Day. We gave out scholarships. We're going to recap some exciting horse racing. And on Monday, it's the 50th anniversary here at Parx. Come out. We're going to celebrate being here for 50 years. You can get a free program, free hot dogs, some coffee or soda, whatever you choose. But it'll be a fun day and a way to celebrate us.
You and I were not here on November 4th, 1974, but I'm looking at a picture of my good friend Ron Glorioso here in the Hall of Fame, who was here. He was the first trainer ever to get here. It's a 3-year anniversary last week of Ronnie's passing, but yeah, I think every time we come in here, you see Ronnie's smiling face, and I think of him when I think of November 4th, 1974.
Yes, we're in the Hall of Fame room surrounded by these great people. Well, it is Breeders' Cup Day, and the talk is about the grizzly bear, Torpedo Anna, and the distaff is really shaping up like it's going to be her swan song.
I mean, it looks like she's in a great spot, right? Idiomatic versus Torpedo Anna was going to be awesome. Unfortunately, everybody knows Idiomatic got injured last week. She's been retired. Keeps scratching horses out of this race. It's going to be very difficult for her to get beat. She's going to be odds on, but you know, you got to go out and do it. As we saw in the cotillion, there's no givens in this sport. You got to go out and get it done.
Kenny McPeak has been so fun to talk to. He loves talking about his girl, and here's Kenny with more on Torpedo Anna.
Kenny, post position 2 for Torpedo Anna. Your reaction to that post?
Initial reaction is that she could be the speed of the race. You know, she's going wire to wire in the Oaks, same distance. You know, we'll let Brian decide that, of course, but you know, I'm not sure that anybody else on paper. And of course, we don't know the PP's past performances on some of the Japanese horses, but I think first instinct is she's probably close to the early pace.
Right, yep. What gives you the confidence that she's going to enjoy the track here at Del Mar?
Well, you never really know, but yeah, we'll get her out there and see how she handles it. But she's handled every surface we've ever put her on.
She's had a big year, Kenny. Is she saving her best for last?
I think so. I mean, she's doing fantastic. It's exciting.
Wow, well, she's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and we're going to talk a lot more on the Breeders' Cup today in the show. Obviously, it's the big event out at Del Mar, and some really awesome horses.
Be interesting to see how the distaff is run, Danny. Torpedo Anna may very well go to the front. There's a turf filly from Japan, Alice Verite, who's very fast. See what she does, and the undefeated awesome result, 7 for 7. But on paper, you gotta like the Torpedo.
Oh yeah, going to be really exciting. Let's get to some local racing here at Park. We're going to take a look at Monday's 9th race. This was our Parx picks, and Winning Time was your selection. He comes off the bench.
Yeah, 9-5, hasn't run since June, but on his very best, he's the best horse in the race.
He is fast. Second choice, Bolt of Orem coming in for Georgie Duarte, who has a horse running in the Breeders' Cup. Pretty excited. Paco Lopez is aboard.
Yeah, and Paco's in. This horse took some money, 2-1. We had a late scratch in this race when DePoli got loose, so that kind of changed the odds in the race at the end.
Winning Time got loose too,
yes,
but they caught him quickly. Here's the call of Monday's 9th race.
Winning Time has the lead. Bolt of Orem presses to his outside now, just half a length off. Then it's All-American Rod. Ninja Prize, he's back to 4th. Palm Island, Lost and Confused, still disturbed at the back. And Winning Time maintains the lead. They head into the far turn, 22-1. Sharp opening quarter, and Winning Time. Bolt of Orem right to his outside. Then it's All-American Rod, Ninja Prize, Palm Island, Lost and Confused and Still Disturbed. The order remains largely unchanged. Winning Time continues to have some pressure from Bolt of Orem as they go through the far turn. Winning Time gainly presses on to the outside. Bolt of Orem, those two in a match as they go around the far turn. On the inside, Winning Time, Bolt of Orem continues to press, 45-3. It's Bolt of Orem who puts his neck in front. Winning Time trying to counter, but comes up empty, and Bolt of Orem goes right on by. He's opening up now. Bolt of Orem putting on a show with a 16th left to go, and Bolt of Orem, he's going to win.
Well, it was a great speed battle, but Bolt of Orem shook off Winning Time, gets the win there. Really strong performance, and they really like this horse, and he's back to the form that they thought that he had.
Understandably, after that performance by 8.5, and Winning Time just couldn't keep up, and maybe just needed one, but we'll see him later.
Yeah, I'd like to see him harness that speed because he is one fast boy. Well, we're going to talk a lot more of the Breeders' Cup, but we're going to go to a break. We'll see you on the other side.
The Excite Center at Parx Casino, the region's hottest live entertainment venue. Check out your favorite concerts, comedy, boxing, MMA, all at the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. Don't miss the hilarious Steve Trevino on Saturday, November 23rd, plus funny lady Kathleen Madigan on Saturday, December 7th. Don't miss these two exciting headliners, only at the Excite Center inside Parx Casino. Parx Casino, this is how you win. This is how you win. Tickets on sale now.
The question a lot of people are asking themselves these days is, do I buy new or do I buy pre-owned? Here's what I'll tell you. New car inventories are still low and new car prices are still high. However, with the certified pre-owned Nissan at Chapman Nissan, we have a huge selection and you can save thousands over new. Plus a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, roadside assistance, 1-year prepaid maintenance, and so much more. And not for nothing. Can you really tell the difference? I can't.
PA Bread, I think we've built a brand at this point.
It's excitement at every step.
Roses for Deborah just set a new track record.
On average, for the past decade, Pennsylvania paid over $28 million a year in Breeders' Awards, restricted races, and owner bonuses. Plus, PA Bread shine on the world's biggest stage. Just 3 states have bred more Breeders' Cup winners. Learn more at pabread.com.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Well, one of the really exciting races is going to be the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. And why? Because the last 2 Pennsylvania Derby winners, Saudi Crown from 2023 and Seize the Gray from this year, are both in it. Post 1 and Post 6, it's going to be the Battle of the Grays.
And that's going to be the last race tonight. They reordered the races again. The Classic is earlier to get it on NBC. But yeah, the Dirt Mile with the 2 PA Derby winners. Saudi Crown drew the rail. I don't think they had much choice of what they were going to do anyway. They are obviously going to go. The question here is, this horse was entered in the ACAC at Churchill on the 28th of September, scratched. They had a minor problem. Is he all the way back? If he is, his best race wins. But I think they need to clear. Seize the Gray, we know how good he is. Really good race. Difficult race to handicap. I think it's going to be the first 100 yards going to be the key, but it's very cool to see the last 2 PA Derby winners, may one of them get home, and the exacta wouldn't be a bad deal.
No, it would not. Let's catch up with the trainers and see how these horses are doing coming into the race.
This horse is definitely stronger and better right now than he's been. Whether he's good enough to win it, we'll find out, but he's going to go into it in great shape.
And finally, the decision to go in the Dirt Mile versus the Classic at the 1.25 miles. What was the main deciding factor?
We agonized over that quite a bit. I think that the Classic's a tougher race after we analyzed it a little bit. But here's the thing. Almost every other racetrack in the country, a mile would be a 1-turn race, where here it's a 2-turn race at Del Mar. And the way he runs the turns and the way he has that tactical speed, I thought that he would really adapt to a 2-turn race, and the mile fits him very well.
Yeah, I think it's all about getting the trip. You have to, in these type of races, most of the horses are really good and accomplished horses. You got to, it's very seldom you see a horse win a Breeders' Cup race with a bad trip. So it's all about getting a position. Every horse is different, but it's all about getting the position they need to be in and everything going smooth and handling everything. And, it comes down to, once again, getting a good ride and handling the ship, the schooling, everything that goes into it.
And we're going to get more Breeders' Cup later in the show, but let's get to our national races of the week. We're going to start with the Grade 3 Bold Ruler up at Belmont at the Big A. 6 furlongs, $175,000. Our favorite is Scotland. Irad and Mott teaming up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Bill Mott has been one of the great trainers in history. Is on an incredibly cold streak. It's been on it for a month or so. Shocking, but they still bet Scotland down to 6-5. But we got a couple of Parx graduates here. The Parx Sprint winner on PA Derby Day, Top Gunner, is in here, and my buddy B was so impressive on Smarty Jones Day, winning the state rep, and they're both fast. We'll see how they do.
Here's the call, the Bold Ruler.
Little Vic is the leader. Top Gunner within range is now only a nose back in second. My Buddy B with a nice journey is 3 wide, and here comes Luis Rivera Jr., My Buddy B, and it's Top Gunner and My Buddy B 1-2 as they reach the top of the stretch. Running Son of a Gun is in pursuit and moves towards the outside. My Buddy B is trying to put away Top Gunner. Running Son of a Gun is catching him with every stride. It's My Buddy B who's in front, but here comes Running Son of a Gun and Joel Rosario to the outside. Running Son of a Gun, but a very game My Buddy B is repelling the challenge so far. 2 noses down to the line. It's a photo finish. Give it to My Buddy B.
And Running Son of a Gun does get put up for the win. My Buddy B crossed the finish line first with Jockey Luis Rivera Jr. Obviously a little bumping in late stretch. That was a rough DQ.
Yeah, disappointing DQ if you back My Buddy B. I mean, I get it. Running Son of a Gun, remember, he ran here in the Gallant Bob a couple years ago, was 3rd. So a lot of Parx alums in the exacta, but yeah, you feel terrible for the My Buddy B people. They come in from out in the Midwest and get DQ'd when they go to the BAQ.
Oh, I know, in a small stable, and hopefully they live to fight another day. Jockey Luis Rivera was here this week at Parx, said it was the worst day in his career. I said, you will be on the other side of that one day, and big learning curve there. All right, well, let's get to the Grade 3 49er Stakes. This is that 1-turn mile at the Belmont at the Big A, $250,000. Jefferson Street favorite.
Yeah, Jefferson Street's solid. No argument about him. Runs good. Again, Bill Mott favored. And keep in mind, I just told you he was like 2 for 80 at one point between Keeneland and BAQ. Very bizarre. The horse we're interested in is the 7 Coastal Mission. Won the Parx Dirt Mile here. PA Derby alums are all over the Breeders'. PA Derby Day alums are all over the Breeders' Cup today, and here they were last week at Aqueduct.
Yeah, and the famous Repo Rocks as well. Here's the call of the 49er.
Nelson Avenue is now on the front end, is alone, is up by a full length. Film Star is tracking from second. Repo Rocks is in tight at the rail as they've got less than a half mile to go. Messier is progressing out wider. Jefferson Street is called upon for the effort. Gets passed by Coastal Mission. Win It from the back end. Stage Raider is tailed off to be the distant trailer. 45 and 3 for a half mile time. Nelson Avenue is still there. It's Nelson Avenue. Film Star with every shot. Repo Rocks wants out of there. Repo Rocks is tracking from third, looking for a seam. It's Nelson Avenue who turns him for home, is in front. Film Star is still right there. Repo Rocks looking for the seam. Coastal Mission's got some momentum, and Coastal Mission with that clear running path. It's Coastal Mission to the outside of a very game Nelson Avenue, who's still there. Nelson Avenue with a head in front. Coastal Mission trying to push on by. Win It with a late rally inside the final 16th. It's now Coastal Mission.
The Parx Dirt Mile winner, Coastal Mission, gets the win. Arnaldo Boca Chica, great jockey down at Charlestown.
Yeah, what a career this horse has had now, Danny. 25 starts, 13 wins. Jeff Runco is the king of Charlestown.
Okay.
Within 300, how many career wins does Jeff Runco have?
Oh, I know him and Boca Chica win a lot. I'm going to say 3,000.
4,785. He is number 12 all time.
I almost guessed 4,000, but then I didn't want to overshoot.
Yeah, as it turned out, you did 5,000 would have been overshooting it. Jeff Runco, number 12 in history.
Parx is doing really good up there. Well, let's keep it rolling at Belmont at the Big A. This is the Grade 2 Mother Goose for 3-year-old fillies, a mile and an eighth. And our favorite is Gun Song. She won the Catherine Sophia here.
She did, and almost won the cotillion with a gigantic upset over Torpedo Anna when she was 44-1 for Marquette.
Brad Cox sends out Tarifa. You guys remember her from the cotillion as well.
Was 3rd in the cotillion. These are the horses then that ran 2nd and 3rd behind Torpedo Anna in the cotillion.
Here's the Mother Goose.
Tarifa and Flavian Pratt is in front, is up by a half length over Gunsong. John Velasquez and Gunsong right there stalking the pace setter, and Dorothy's Dreams is out wider in 3rd, just watching the front 2. Headline Numbers has not moved yet, just right there in 4th, and the trailer continues to be Pretty Anna. 24 seconds flat for the opening quarter mile. Tarifa has inside position. Tarifa's in front by a half length. No excuses for Gunsong. Is just stalking the pace setter. Tend to sit right there, and Gunsong is watching Tarifa as they're approaching a half mile left to go, and they went 48 and 4. for a half-mile time in the Mother Goose, and Tarifa starts to turn it up. Gunsong is not going anywhere. Headline Numbers has started to move from the back, is now taken third, is going to draft right in behind Tarifa, who's still the leader. Dorothy's Dreams is trying to pick it up there from fourth, and at the back gets Prettyana. Tarifa, 113.49 for 3/4 of a mile. Gunsong is looming to the outside, and Gunsong has not been asked yet. In hand, Gunsong, John Velasquez with a quick look back. Tarifa's all into the inside. Gunsong is ready to pounce, and these two now shoulder to shoulder. Tarifa's got more. They're approaching that final furlong. Tarifa battles on. Gunsong has not pushed by yet. A very stubborn foe towards the inside. It's Tarifa and Gunsong. A final 16th, and Prettyana has emerged as well. Tarifa to the inside. Gunsong, Tarifa game, and wins the Mother Goose.
Tarifa with the win, and Gunsong has to settle for another second place finish, but that's not too shabby.
Yeah, Johnny V thought he was a cinch on the turn. He's looking behind him, and it turned out he needed to look right next to him, and Tarifa. And that is why Flavien Prat's the best rider in the country. He completely changed tactics. He puts her in front. That was his 69th stakes win this year, 48th graded stakes. To me, he is in line for the Eclipse Award. Watch him today at Del Mar in the Breeders' Cup.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. It is Breeders' Cup Saturday. We have a lot more to talk about this in our show, but we have to go to another break. We'll see you right after this break.
PA bred, I think we've built a brand at this point.
It's excitement at every step.
Roses for Deborah just set a new track record.
On average, for the past decade, Pennsylvania paid over $28 million a year in Breeders' Awards, restricted races, and owner bonuses. Plus, PA breds shine on the world's biggest stage. Just 3 states have bred more Breeders' Cup winners. Learn more at pabred.com.
This is Parx.
This is how you roll, this is how it goes. This is how you pop, this is how you rock. Take a chance, do a dance, little romance. This is how you. This is how you win. This is how you excite, this is how you all night. 360 hit me, now we're going all in. I can feel it calling, the crowd, the light, the night, the sights, the vibe is right. This is how you. This is
Parx, Pennsylvania's #1 casino experience. This is how you win.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parx Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parx is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back, everybody. It is a Breeders' Cup Saturday. Let's talk about the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Our Gallant Bob winner is going to take it on Ben Tornado.
Yeah, Ben Tornado, a lot of early speed in this race, Danny. This is going to be a very tough race for him to win, but it would be cool if another PA Derby Day alum could get home. And 4 of the 9 races today feature horses that ran here on PA Derby Day.
Really shows that the PA Derby is the perfect setup for the Breeders' Cup. Well, let's get to this week's Jockey of the Week. Here it is. Congratulations to Christopher Elliott, this week's Jockey of the Week. He's a name you're going to remember with his strong riding skills, getting 4 wins this week. Our Jockey of the Week is brought to you by NovaCare, the power of physical therapy. Christopher is going to be a household name. He is not only following in his father's footsteps, he's paving his own way, and he's a really strong rider and really uses a good strategy as well.
He's terrific. When the Breeders' Cup is over, that is a story I have in mind for mid-November.
Looking forward to that. Well, let's get to this week's Trainer of the Week, brought to you by the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Congratulations, Jacinto Solis, this week's Trainer of the Week. The PTHA proudly partners with the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. He had a great week with his stable with 2 wins. Congratulations. We have another great Turning for Home family photo to share with you. This is a horse you guys know, Super Flyover. He was recently retired. He just loved being a racehorse. He won an incredible 21 races, earnings just shy of $500,000. Handsome son of the great Ghost Zapper. His connections loved him. They brought him so much joy. He was their top claim to date. And he's now available for adoption at Castle Rock Farm here in Pennsylvania. And someone could get a really cool horse. He just looks like he's going going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, get it done in exactly 20 years after Go Sapper's phenomenal performance in the 2004 Breeders' Cup Classic.
And he looks just like his daddy, Ghosty, as we like to call him. Well, let's get to best of the rest. We're going to go out to Churchill Downs. This is the Grade 3 Street Scent Stakes. 2-year-olds going a mile and 16th, $200,000, and keep your eye on the 10 horse.
And if you're going to end a cold streak for Bill Mott, this is the way to do it with a potentially really good 2-year-old by Into Mischief. Just blows this field away, coming from dead last, wins by 5 lengths at the wire. Remember the name, Sovereignty.
Look at that big stride. You could see him in the Kentucky Derby next year. He'll be on the trail for sure. Well, let's get to this week's PTHA Trophy race. It was Tuesday's 7th race, $15,000 claiming horses going 6.5 furlongs, and Navy Rules, he's a fighter.
Yeah, this is one of those who's going to win this thing, right? Rebel Empire, Navy Rules, they're battling right down to the wire. Danny, you call the photo. Look like Navy Rules to me.
And this is the second time this horse won the PTHA Trophy race. This week, we catch up with the winning trainer, Scott Lake. Here with trainer Scott Lake, and Navy Rules has been a really fun barn horse, and he's got a big heart.
Yeah, he's got some talent. He's had some issues over his career, but I love him. He tries hard every time, and he ran a big race today.
Jockey Christopher Elliott with another good win here. We're going to go to our final break. Stick around. We're going to give our picks in the Breeders' Cup Classic and our local race. Stick around.
The Excite Center at Parx Casino, the region's hottest live entertainment venue. Check out your favorite concerts, comedy, boxing, MMA, all at the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. Don't miss the hilarious Steve Trevino on Saturday, November 23rd, plus funny lady Kathleen Madigan on Saturday, December 7th. Don't miss these 2 exciting headliners, only at the Excite Center inside Parx Casino. Parx Casino, this is how you win. This is how you win. Tickets on sale now.
The Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association is the advocate for Parx Racing's horsemen and has worked hard to secure better lives for the hundreds of trainers and their families that work in the thoroughbred racing industry. Our horsemen benefit from medical coverage, trainer pension plans, and increased purses. Thanks to these horsemen, racing at Parx is the very best, providing entertainment for you and the entire family. The Pennsylvania Horsemen are proud to be part of the community and introduce a new generation of fans to the sport of kings.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Well, Monday, Del Val Day here at Parx Racing. The students came out from the Equine Science Program. It's our 3rd annual year doing this. We gave out scholarships. We had speakers. They learned all about the horse racing industry.
They did indeed, and we caught up with Corey, who runs the show up there in Doylestown, and our executive director, Jeff Madden.
Such a big part of what we do at Del Val surrounds hands-on learning. That's the mission of Del Val, and our equine students get to learn here about what happens hands-on. There's so many different parts of the industry that come together here at Parx, and so it's such a great opportunity for them.
To be able to get students, the younger generation, to come out to see our races, to see what we do. Not only that, they are equine majors, so there's a good chance that they could be working on our backstretch one day, whether it's as horse veterinarians, trainers, blacksmiths, you name it. This is just a tremendous opportunity to show them what we do day in and day out here at Parx Racing.
It was a great day hanging with the Del Val students. Well, let's turn our attention back to the Breeders' Cup. Of course, the Classic is the marquee race. You know, a lot of big horses in here.
There are a lot of big horses in here. Horse of the Year on the line. Torpedo Anna will be the favorite if she wins, but if she wins and then either Fierceness or possibly Next, either one of them wins, I think they would possibly be the Horse of the Year at this point. Who do you like in the Classic, Danny?
Well, talking about that, there's a lot of question marks here, but I do like Next. He just has so much. I love his stamina. I love that long stride, and he's just cool. He's won the Greenwood Cup twice. My heart's with him. I love that he's got this huge personality, and maybe it's more of an emotional vote, but I'm going for Next.
Yeah, it's a fascinating race. How will City of Troy do first time on dirt? Fierceness has great numbers. Looks like he can get a good trip here. You got the Japanese contingent. Forever Young, in my opinion, was 5 lengths the best in the Kentucky Derby. He was awesome. That's going to be my pick. I like Forever Young, but man, this race could go a million different ways, and I would love to see Next win. In fact, I wrote about all the horses that are running today, Breeders' Cup Saturday, that were here on PA Derby Day 6 weeks ago.
We're very fortunate to have a horse of his ability, and you know, to be back here again this year in the Classic after winning the juvenile last year. You know, it's very exciting, and you know, we're very proud of what he's accomplished so far this year with the Florida Derby and the Jim Dandy and the Travers, and you know, we're very proud of what he's accomplished so far this year with the Florida Derby and the Jim Dandy and the Travers, and you know, we're very proud of what he's accomplished so far this year with the Florida Derby and the Jim Dandy and the Travers, and you know, we're very proud of what he's accomplished so far this year with the Florida Derby and the Jim Dandy and the Travers, and needlessly to say, this would be icing on the cake if he were able to pull this off.
プレースに向けて立ち上げたというところで、大変調整には満足しています。
After Kentucky Derby, he was really tired, so we give a great big break and made refresh, and we start to rebuild the horse in September time, and we won the prep race, and so how we made this place, I'm really satisfied to get here, and I'm really fun. Condition side, everything great.
You know, it's really all the horse's natural talent, ability, and overall constitution. I mean, for the horse to be working as well now as he was going into the Kentucky Derby in that great form that you spoke about out of the bluegrass and such, it's just amazing to me. You know, it's hard for a 3-year-old with that much pressure on him, the Triple Crown Trail and such, and all the way through the summer, to maintain this type of form and actually improve, particularly mentally, this horse. Just a really rare horse to be around.
And I guess that's the big question, isn't it? Early on, perhaps a little bit of immaturity costing him. Now you feel like you've seen changes, or you see some differences?
Yeah, I think that's a good way that you phrased it. A very fair point. And I have. He's moved into a place where he can breeze alone now, which is something he couldn't do earlier in the year. And he seems to be moving very straight. And, horses mature at different times. And he's always had that ability. We've seen that since he was 2 in the morning and in his races. He's very consistent. But to see him come around mentally is a big relief for me, and hopefully he caps his year with a win.
Well, not just the Classic, there's a lot of other great Breeders' Cup races today. What are some other notable horses people could look out for, and maybe some best bets?
Yeah, Ways and Means, I think, sets up really nice. The filly and mare sprint, Rebels Romance in the turf. This is one of the great horses in modern horse racing history for Charlie Appleby and Will Buick. Coming back, can he do it again? Did it a couple years ago at Keeneland. Fascinating card. Can't wait to see it all. We'll be gambling all day long. And again, get on letsgoracingparx.com. You can read everything I had to say about the Parx horses at the Breeders' Cup today.
You are a dominant handicapper. And let's see what our other handicapper friend has to say. Craig Donnelly.
Things are going well lately. 3 winners in the last 4 weeks, and the other horse scratched. So let's hope we can keep things going well. My pick for Saturday is in the 9th race, number 7, Sister Supreme. Last time out, when the rail was the best part of the track, she made a very wide run on the turn, finished easily second best to an impressive winner, and I also liked her previous race over this track. She ran into an extremely fast horse, ran a big race to finish second that time also. Most of her losses this year have been on wet tracks. We don't anticipate a wet track Saturday, so I think Sister Supreme's going to be very difficult to beat.
Best of luck to everybody today. Happy Breeders' Cup. We are racing here at Parx. Post time is 12:40. Get out here. It's going to be a beautiful day. And then come join us Monday to celebrate Parx. It's our 50th anniversary. Post time does change back to 12:05 with the clocks going back. And we're going to have a great day of racing today and on Monday. Looking forward to it.
And if you were here on November 4th, 1974, you have to be here on Monday.
You just have to. Have a hot dog with me. I'll be on the rail. Well, thanks for watching us. It was a great show. We'll catch you next week on Let's Go Racing.
And they're off. Skippy Longstocking has early speed. We the people from in between horses. Taba has got the lead now. It's Taba in the center of the racetrack, but Taba is drawing away. And Taba with Mike Smith, they win the Bet Parx Pennsylvania Derby.